Hello and a very warm welcome to all News9 viewers. I'm Neha Bhan and you're watching News9 Special. Nearly 5 lakh children in Karnataka face uncertain future, trapped by the rigid enforcement of NEP 2020's Class 1 age rule, mandating children to be 6 years to enter Class 1. Now, thousands of families who enrolled their kids in pre-primary under the previous systems are now paying the price. These children viewers, ready for Class 1, are being held back, forced to watch their friends move ahead while they remain stuck in pre-primary, crushing their confidence and sense of belonging. The previous BJP government had granted an exemption after parental protests, but in November 2022, it reversed its stance, deciding to strictly enforce the rule from 2025-26 onwards without considering the children already in the system. Now, families are bearing the brunt, financially, economically and socially. While Delhi, Maharashtra, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh have adapted and offered relaxations for affected children, Karnataka refuses to budge. The demand is clear. Extend the relaxation to children already in the system before 2022. Do not let them waste a year of their lives. Karnataka's children deserve justice. The government must act now. My colleague Vajiullah in fact gets us the latest from the ground. Let's quickly take a listen.
Imagine your child passes UKG with flying colors and then he's told that he'll have to wait one more year because he's still not 6 years old to attend the Class 1 standard. And these parents that you see behind me are the parents of those children who have not been able to attend Class 1 because they're just a few days or a few months or a year away from being 6 years old. You can see kids also wearing, holding placards saying, "Dear government, listen to parents and kids. Don't let age hold our kids back. Parents seek exemption from new age criteria of Class 1. And age criteria a barrier to progress." So these are a few placards that the parents and kids have been holding here, expecting that the government listens to what their plea is. These are the parents who are suffering because their kid will have to repeat again, and the psychological impact that will happen on the kids. Money is something that they can earn and they can give it again, but the impact that will happen on the kid is something that the government should look into and make sure that these parents and these kids, because the data clearly says here, and the parents have also provided how many kids are born and how many kids that are getting affected. Close to 6 lakh kids are affected by this policy, and that is what we expect, that the government should make sure that at least a relaxation is done with their regards. Close to 1,59,000 kids in Bangalore alone will be affected if this education policy continues according to this data. Therefore, we urge the government to make sure that these parents who are over here do not get affected and their issue is sorted as fast as possible, because all they have is 2 months before admission begins.
All right, to discuss this further, I'm joined by D. Shashi Kumar, General Secretary, CAMS Karnataka, Anubha Srivastava Sahai, President, India-Wide Parent Association, and also Ankita B.A., who's a parent. I'll come to you first, Ankita. Do tell us, what difficulties is your child facing due to this age rule?
So the first thing is basically this was not informed when my child was admitted or enrolled into school in the beginning, because this rule came up way after our admissions. So first thing is the psychological or their mindset. So my son has questions like, why should I repeat Montessori 3 or UKG, and all my friends are going to first standard, why am I not going to first standard? And in school they've been called as repeat students, so it's like, why am I a repeat student? So all these are mentally affecting children so much. We have a habit where in the night when we go to bed, we ask him what happened in school, how was your day, what was taught in school. And some days ago he started crying that why am I repeating M3? Why am I repeating UKG? Why am I not going to first standard? Because these kids don't have the maturity to understand, right? There's this age rule, and you're born on June 10th, you're 10 days younger, you can't go. All they want to do is, I'm done with M3, I want to go to first standard. So this is a very difficult thing for kids to handle, and even for parents. Everybody is emotionally very getting drained because of this new rule. Also, I mean, like, it's just 10 days. At least in my case, my kid is born on June 10th. So it's only 10 days, right? Is it worth to make him repeat one whole year for 10 days?
Right. Continue to stay with us, Ankita. Mr. D. Shashi Kumar is smiling. He seemed to disagree with you. Mr. Shashi Kumar, do you think that this sudden enforcement is fair to students and parents?
I have a sympathy on parents, but unfortunately, there are three mistakes what even media is projecting. One biggest mistake is it is not NEP. It was enforced on RT Act and Rule, which was 2009. Number one. Number two is 3 years back this came into force, and we have already given 2 years of relaxation. And unfortunately, most of the unauthorized schools or so-called chain of schools, they have, without considering the norms, they have enrolled their children by miscommunication. This is one cause which more and more students are coming, and this is every year happening. Even last year there was the same thing. Any point of time, even whether it is 10 days, 20 days, at that particular, wherever you give relaxation, if you give 2 months relaxation, there will be certain amount of students who will have the same situation. The fourth important thing is, see, across India, the structure of first standard admission has been made to 6 years, and board to board it is been now trying to implement in a common factor. So when our state students go to other state, they are finding difficulty. There are a lot of ambiguity here, and government has clearly, because of our request during those early years, when there was a rule enforced, they considered it for technically 2 years, because LKG and UKG is the official structure wherein you are supposed to register a school and see that you are put on the government platform. But most of the unauthorized schools or chain of schools, even private schools who are authorized, they have miscommunicated the parent. They have tried to tweak that, and now that is a problem by and large. So government has to address, but our concern as an association, this has been repeated year after year, year after. There is no proper line drawn here. And we want to settle at one point. And every year, some few parents come and ask the exemption. How can a law be changed? And the last thing is, lot of fake certificates are being made from the parent sector, because they are going to the birth and death register, they are getting a fake certificate there, some are getting enrolled, and this, if it stops, the real genuine students can get admission. All these factors we have brought to the notice of the Honorable Chief Minister and Education Department to give a strict guidelines and clear these doubts, because this is only menace of the unauthorized school sector, wherein they unhealthily admitted 2 or 3 years back. They would have understood and they would have educated the parents, and definitely if 2 or 3 months, that point of time, there will be certain amount of students who will have this problem. That is what our expressions are in this matter.
Right, continue to stay with us. Anubha, coming to you, you heard Mr. Shashi Kumar here. Now, as an educationist yourself, help us understand what is the logic behind having a strict age criterion for class 1 admissions?
See, as far as the admission is concerned, there is a rule that from first standard onwards, the child should be 6 years old. But yes, some state governments have given relaxation, because especially to those students who have already taken admission in pre-primary and primary. Now, as Mr. Shashi Kumar is saying, that a lot of illegal schools are running in Karnataka, and they have given admission. So why Mr. Shashi Kumar has not given the list of those schools to the education department? That could have been saved the life of these
You have
students,
questioned this to the
money of
education
those students.
department.
Why you have
We have
not
given
given?
the
If you
complaint.
are aware,
We have given
Mr. Shashi
several
Kumar,
times the
that
complaint.
illegal
That is not the
schools are
question
running.
of the
Hey,
hour.
listen to
Mr.
me.
Shashi Kumar, Mr. Shashi
What
Kumar,
I am saying-
Anubha,
You
please
are
hold on.
just
Mr. Shashi
responding.
Kumar, Mr. Shashi Kumar, please, we very carefully listen to you. Now, let's also take a listen to what Anubha has to say, and later we can go into argument mode, okay? So let's just very patiently listen to what Anubha has to say. Anubha, please go on.
So I am really shocked to know that illegal schools are running in Karnataka, and the government is not aware, or government is not taking any action. So who
Yes.
is to be blamed? Where is education officer? What is education officer doing? What is education minister doing in Karnataka? If he is not aware that illegal schools, primary and pre-primary schools are running and they are taking admission. So instead of taking action against those schools, against the education department, they're taking action against the small children. It's high time that the government should give relaxation to these children and enforce this rule right from pre-primary level. Why from first standard? Enforce it from pre-primary level. Shut down all the schools which are running illegally. How parents will get to know? Why are you not publishing the list on their department? Education department should publish the list. Why this is happening? So the government has to be blamed. It's the
Mr.
fault of
Shashi
the
Kumar,
government,
here,
not
you know,
the parents.
to be fair to children, you know, a question can be asked: why provide relaxation for only 2 years, get hopes high, and not to mention the confusion?
Every year this is repeating. Every year it is repeating. Even you give now certain relaxation, the same thing applies. The second thing is, the gentle lady
no,
said,
all we're
we have
asking
given
is,
a complaint, number
Ankita,
one.
please hold on to
Second
your
thing
thoughts.
is,
I'll come to you.
the complaint
Okay.
has been raised, the government has not acted upon, and even the public domain has very clearly which are recognized school, which is not registered. There are in public domain. Parents are also equally responsible to see before they join why are they not looking into recognized school. Third thing is, the order is not today or yesterday, it is 3 years old. One has to understand. You people now come and ask, where were you 3 years away? 3 years back, you would have raised this. We have raised this on behalf of children, and we have got a relaxation. And every year on year, you keep getting relaxation for certain volume of things. This will never settle. And national policy and people have not understood. When we come and speak, we should first understand what is the policy all about and who is doing it. It is not NEP, it is RTE, which was commenced 2012, 2009 Act. And we are from there. It has to be in implementation, but that has not been done. The relaxation were given year after year, 2 months, 5 months, and this is what somewhere we have to draw a line. That is our strict request to the even department as well as the government.
All right, gentlemen, Shashi Kumar, continue to stay with us. Anubha, I'll come to you in a short while, but first let me just ask you this, Ankita. If the rule isn't changed, how will it impact your child's education?
Okay, so let me say this: how it works for these kids, right? They're very smart, and at this age, as all of us know, their grasping power is really high. So there should be a flow, right? I also checked with the pediatricians. Actually, with my kid's pediatrician, my husband is also a doctor. So at this age, it's very important that they learn new things. Their learning is, there's a flow with it. It shouldn't be made stagnant for them. So right now, if I make my kid repeat the same section or the same class, which is UKG, he's going to be stuck there. So what is his learning over there, right? All his peers are going to go way ahead of him, and I'm wasting that valuable time of my kids where he has a very good power to understand, take things. So and over here I want to make a point. All we're asking for, sir, is for education. We're asking for nothing else. So giving education is not going to hurt anybody over here. It's all like, right? Education is a very basic thing. All we're requesting is for giving good education, or just to give my kid the next required step or the next required class. So I'm not asking you to give some driving license or something at a young age, which will
Very
affect people
reasonable.
outside.
As a parent, it
Yeah,
is
all
very
I'm
reasonable.
asking is for education, sir. I think it's a very minimal ask, is what I
Yes,
would
ma'am,
say.
you are
And I
very
have another
reasonable in that.
point.
All right,
Yes.
Shashi Kumar. All right, Shashi
Yes.
Kumar, Ankita, Anubha, continue to stay with us. My colleague Vajiula also spoke with parents on this issue. Let's quickly take a listen.
So my baby's due date was end of May, right? It was 30th May, 31st May. But it was not to be on that day. Sometimes it is a pre-term, sometimes it can be post-term. So my daughter is born on the 3rd of June. So it's 2 days above the date. So now you are putting pressure on the parents with this kind of rules, that if it is around May, better to go to hospital and do a C-section because I will not get the admission. This is the pressure which is coming on parents, right? We'll push the mothers to not go with the biological route. Whatever is possible, by Karlo, 31st May is the end of the cutoff of the school. So we bring that out. Our only point is all the concerns are raised, the financial implications of repeating the school, the mental health. All we are saying is if we know about the notification.
There is no one rule fits for all. The cognitive ability of the kids varies. So some kids, as you have seen, they're like child prodigies and they're playing chess and they're playing so many games. And once you introduce a rule that, okay, 6 years we can't promote, then that doesn't work for many kids who are smart enough. So when we studied, I finished my first grade when I was 5 years old, and most of the parents here would have finished like that. And we were all successful. Okay. And the kids are even smarter. They are smarter than us. They're able to comprehend a lot of things that when we were at first class, we were not able to comprehend.
We admitted our kid in toddler section in 2022. Schools have toddler section as well. The toddler is now in this current year, he's studying LKG. Every day he asks me, am I going to UKG or not? It's a big pressure for LKG kids as well. So please implement a general rule that will be helpful for everyone. See, if the state has 6 years, if other 5 states have 5.5 years, how do they interstate travel and get it admitted? Please see the minimum most age of any of the state and apply it, because CBSE has to set a minimum level of all the states, right? Then only they can appear for the 10th grade. So making here a high level and other states minimum level means CBSE will take the minimum level only. So I don't see any point in increasing the age. Kindly relax it for entire for future generations to come, not only for next year. Please consider for the entire.
I am an anesthetist. I give anesthesia for cesarean section, so I know the load. I have worked in government setup. I have worked in private setup. Trust me, if all parents say we will get cesareans in April or May, the healthcare system will collapse. All the doctors will go on strike or go on leave. Otherwise, their family will kill them because they won't be able to go home. Right now, in Vanivilas Hospital, per day there will be at least 50 deliveries. Imagine if it increases to 4 or 5 folds. What will happen to the healthcare system? Patients will die because they won't get care. Even in private setup, they won't be able to.
All right, Anuba, you heard the parents here. Let me ask you this. Why is age even a factor in education?
See, that is the rule which the government has made, no doubt, that a child has to be 6-year-old to be eligible to get admission in first standard. A child has to be 17 or 18-year-old when he will be in college. A child has to be 3 years old when he will go to pre-primary school. You cannot send a child 1 or 1.5-year-old to a school. Many parents are sending, which is not good. I got to know that some parents are sending 1.5-year or 2-year children to school, pre-primary and play schools, which is not right. Their overall development will begin at the age of 6. So that's why the age criteria has been mentioned, that once the child attains the age of 6, as per RTE rule, the child will be admitted in first standard. But now the RTE rule is applicable even for pre-primary. So the government should ensure at the entry level only, they should ensure that the child who will be of the age of maybe 3 or 4-year-old only will get admission. Whatever is happening in Karnataka or maybe in other state, it is because of the non-implementation of the RTE Act from the pre-primary school level. And
sorry, you are miscommunicated.
Mr. Shashi, please hold on. Let Anuba complete. I'll come to you.
It is not the holding. When it is a wrong message to the society.
I will come to you, Mr. Shashi. Let Anuba put her point across. Please wait. Hold on.
When you don't know the stuff of Karnataka, already there is a rule from LKG itself from past 3 years.
Mr. Shashi,
let me complete. The RT Act is in place since 2010, Mr. Shashi, and if I will expose all the private schools, how they are minting money, you are also aware, then where is the rule applicable now? You all are not following the rule to charge the fee. You are making profit. Many of the schools are making profit. They are also not following the rules. So how can you expect parents to follow rule when they are not even aware? Awareness has to be done. Who will do it? The education department. It is the duty of the government. It is the duty of the education minister, education department, education officer. He has to spread awareness. He has to go to each and every school and inspect how many children are studying, what are their age. Who is going to do? Many parents are not aware. We cannot expect parents to be aware of RT rules and everything.
Right,
It
Anubha,
is
continue to stay with us. Mr.
the
Shashi Kumar, please
responsibility
go
of the
ahead.
education department.
Right, Anubha, we heard you. Let's quickly go across to Mr. Shashi Kumar and hear what he has to say. Yes, Mr. Shashi.
See, absolutely, the gentle lady, whatever she is saying is absolutely, she had no information about Karnataka, I feel, because Karnataka government has 3 years back itself, they have done. We have a portal wherein every student is being registered on platform, that is SATS, and the SATS portal will never take up if their child is below age. That starts from LKG itself. But unfortunately, there are more number of chain of schools like Kids Z or Hero Kids or those who are not in the control and they are not registered, though there is a act enacted in 2018. We have tried to give complaints and they are playing a other game and parents are misguided. Even parents, we have a public domain, all this information, they are not looking into that. Government can't come to every house and give you the awareness. They have some certain responsibility. There is already in place and most of the schools in across Karnataka have followed these rules. But few parents and few schools have violated. So what is next? Next, government has to consider that and see that there should be some parameters. One gentleman was telling, LKG, my child is already in toddlers, LKG will come. Every year on year, this is the same problem. So something has to be drawn a line so that the entry level as per NEP or as per RTE, it is 6 year to 14 or 6 year to 18 years. That has to be followed. And across country, even CBSE ICSE board from last year, they have mandated 6 years is compulsory. All this factor put together, there will be certain precipitation for few parents or few movements, but by and large, over the period, it gets settled. But that settlement will have some consequences. Whatever the relaxation you
Right.
give, there will be certain amount of children
no,
who
Right.
will left in this
Ankita,
part.
Ankita, hold on. Ankita, hold on. Mr. Shashi, the argument put forth is that a child can play badminton, chess, or even attend Bharatnatyam classes, but isn't allowed to join first standard. What kind of rule is this? That's the argument put
That is,
forth.
see, this is hypothetical question because if you say there are exceptions and some children can do it, it is not on whole. And where do you draw a line? How do you give them the examination? Then there are children who can take up within 5 or 6 standard itself 10th exam. Can you give it? That is not the system. There is a rules, regulations, certain amount of age limits, all this. If there are children who can drive a vehicle, then why don't you give license to the 10 years old then? Why don't you recommend?
All
See,
right,
this is
Mr.
not the
Shashi.
thing.
All right, Mr. Shashi, I get your point. Ankita, quickly coming to you. Do you feel the government is listening to you?
Not really, but over here I feel like I need to make some couple of points. So first thing, right? We're not asking for any relaxation. All we are asking for is when our kids were enrolled to school, right? That was somewhere in 2021 December. The rule was 5 year 10 months. So for our kid to go to first standard, it was 5 year 10 months. And then later in November 2022, it became 6 years. So all we are asking for is our batch or our kids batch didn't have this rule while they were joining the schools, right? So the kids who are admitted to schools before this rule was implemented, right, they need to be sent to first standard is all we are asking for, because from the next batch this rule is already in place, so the parents are aware of this. So they are, if they are joining their kids earlier, they are aware that they need to make the kids repeat 1 year, right? We are not even aware, we were not even aware. So in the middle of our kids academic year, this particular rule was implemented, right? So how fair is it to implement on these kids, because this was not there at the time of their admission. So during school admissions this was not there, and it was not informed to the parents as well. And the next thing, sir did mention about fake certificates. So I mean, parents don't want to do this, but some rules like this maybe are pushing the parents to take such a step, like they're becoming desperate to push their kids. But honestly, I don't think parents really want to do things like this or take this. So if you want, like sir mentioned, that all this should be stopped. If all this should be stopped, then the rules also should be in such a way that you're not pushing the people to become desperate to take such measures.
Ankita, I got your
And
point.
coming to the question,
Ankita, I got your
was
point.
asked.
Very quickly, Anubha, I want to take your reaction on this. Can such age restriction affect a child's learning process?
See, as far as age restriction is concerned, I think that is not going to affect. See, a child who's a 2-year-old kid, we cannot expect a 2-year-old kid to go to school and learn ABCD and all. So at home, many parents are teaching at home, but we cannot expect a child who is just a 1.5 year or 2-year-old to go to school to learn ABCD and rhymes and all. So the parents need to understand, parents should understand that whatever age has been provided under RT Act, they should follow it. But at the same time, my request to the Karnataka government is that the students and parents who have children who have been enrolled already, who are already part of the system before the implementation of this 2022 notification, government should consider them. And now, right from this academic year, right from this academic year, stop the admission right from the entry level, from pre-primary level. Don't allow any school to admit any child from pre-primary level. Later on, just see the number, 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, more than 1.5 lakhs in Karnataka itself. It's not a small number. If it would have been 100 or
It's
200
6
or
lakhs in
500,
Karnataka,
would have
ma'am.
said, okay, relaxation. But 1.5 lakh is a big number. So that itself shows how the government has failed drastically to implement Right to Education Act in Karnataka.
Very,
So
very
right
quickly,
from this year, my
right.
request to the government to give relaxation to all these children, and from this year onwards, make it ensure and make it strict rule that each and every parent should get aware of the rules and regulation and take
Right.
action against the schools who are admitting children. Go and conduct
Right,
inspection
right,
of all those illegal
Anuba, I
schools.
get your point. Anuba, I get your point. Very quickly, Mr. Shashi Kumar, you have a point to make, but I'll request you to please put it very, very briefly. Go on.
Yeah, one correction here is see that the admissions in Karnataka happens in the month of March to April, May, June. But nobody actually, it is not compulsory that these parents are going in the October, November and getting it enrolled, and it is not the fault of a system. That I wanted to correct it. Otherwise, yes,
All right.
there should be a reasonable thing, and understanding in larger section is most important. And see that 6 years is mandated, and let us all follow that. That's the thing.
Right, right. We get your point. Thank you very much, D. Shashi Kumar, Anubha Srivastava, and Ankita B.A. for joining us on News9 Special. All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay with us.